Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome back to another edition of About Last Nightmare. Now, this is a segment I do with my very good friend Nick, the Last Shoegazer, where we take a movie from our collection, give it a watch, message back and forth, sometimes making fun of the film, sometimes giving fun facts, and then do a two-part review. I do part one, which is the facts and figures. Nick takes care of part two, which is a synopsis of the film, our rating, and our overall take on the film. Now, last night we watched Rawhead Rex. Now, Rawhead Rex is a 1986 film which runs 89 minutes and is directed by George Pavlov. Now, he was responsible for a movie that I actually really want to see called Underworld, also known as Transmutations, and Little Devils, The Birth. Now, of course, the screenplay is by Clive Barker, but I'll get into that a little bit later when I give you some interesting things about the film. Now, this stars David Dukes as Howard Hollenbach. Now, unfortunately, he passed away on October the 7th of 2000 at the age of 55 due to a heart attack. He, of course, was in the miniseries Rose Red, which I'm a big fan of. The First Deadly Sin. This also stars Kelly Piper as Elaine Hollenbach. Now, she died on December 4th of 2009 at the age of 59. I could not find a reason for her passing, but she was in Maniac, of course, with Joe Spinell, and Vice Squad with Wings Hauser. Now, this also stars, I'm going to try to pronounce this name, Niall Tolbin as Reverend Coot, or as they kind of make a joke in the movie, Old Coot. He was in The Sleep of Death and a bunch of TV. Now, this edition of Rawhead Rex is, of course, the Blu-ray edition. It comes in this little nice box. And this is the alternate artwork, the reverse slip. Nick has the DVD. He'll show you the other part of the reverse slip. Now, this was supposed to be a 4K transfer. Let me read exactly what this says. Brand new 4K restoration from the digital camera negative. And I'm going to say, I was kind of disappointed in the transfer of this film. The colors seemed a little washed out, and there's a lot of dirt and speckling on the overall print. So I was a little bit disappointed, especially since this has had a DVD release years ago. It was released on Pioneer, and it used to go for a lot of money. But overall, I mean, it didn't look that bad. I was expecting a little bit better, being a 4K transfer. Now, some interesting things about the film, and there are quite a few. This was made for £1,500,000. It was actually filmed in, and I hope I don't butcher this because it's in Ireland, Leinster and County Wicklow, Ireland. Now, Peter Mayhew, known to us in the movie community as Chewbacca, was originally considered to play Rawhead Rex, but his fee was too high. And this is the part I've always heard, but I did read it in Clive Barker, who wrote the screenplay, and this was originally in his book, Books of Blood, actually hated this film. And it was because of this film that he decided to direct Hellraiser and had so much control over it. Now, the special effects team only had 4 weeks to make the creature costume. It was a one-piece latex pullover, which I thought was pretty interesting. The film was originally going to be shot at Bray Studios in England. And finally, and if you want to read all these special features, it has a ton of them. Definitely pause this and make it bigger so you can read it. In Clive Barker's original story, which I have never read, I do want to read it now, but this was a 9-foot demon whose face looked like raw meat, hence the name Rawhead Rex. So, I did preface this with Nick by saying, this looks really cool on the cover. I mean, there is no doubt about it. But when you watch the movie, it kind of looks a little silly at times. He kind of looks like a heavy metal pig. I think I used the term rocksteady from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But, yeah, that's just kind of what it reminded me of. I do like this film. It's fun, and it definitely has a cult following. It could have been a lot better, but, you know, overall, I did like the film. It has a special place in my heart. I do think it's a fun film. So definitely check out Nick, The Last Shoegazer, for part 2 of About Last Nightmare. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.